Our video today is part of Arithmetic Sequences. This is the third day. So the first day we learned about recursive with the fancy brace, 2 rows. The main information is what's the first term and how is it changing by the difference. The second day yesterday, I taught you about recursive versus explicit. Explicit's easy. It's a straight line, a sub 1 plus d parentheses n minus 1. And you would use that if I wanted to know, like in bell work, the 11th term, for example, or in some of your homework. You had to find the 7th term, things like that. Today I want to know what's the, like if I add up a list of numbers. So I'm going to give you guys this math problem on your calculator. On the board, I have written the numbers 1 through 10, and I need you to add up 1 through 10. What does it add up to? What's the sum of this list of numbers? So you can use your calculator, you can use whatever method, but I want an answer. When you add up all these numbers, what is your answer of the sum of 1 through 10? You add them up. Sarah, what'd you get? I heard other people got 55. So you did 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4? Okay, check out this method. What if I go 1 plus 9 made a 10? 2 plus 8 made a 10. 3 and 7, 4 and 6. That's quick, right? And I could go 40 now, plus the 10 I haven't counted yet, plus the 5. Another method to get 55, right? This is because it's a pattern. The 9 and the 1 match, the 8 and the 2. I could do this pattern for the sum of the numbers 1 through 100. That would take forever. But check out, 1 and 99 match up the same. 2 and 98, 3 and 97, these are all 100s. So I could use this method to be quicker about it, right? And then I would have to add the 50, because 49 and 51 would go together. I'd have to add the 100 to it, and I'd have to add the 50. So it takes a long time if I didn't know this shortcut, and if the list of numbers got long. Today what we're going to talk about is adding up a list of numbers. So first, let's do a little vocab. A finite means it ends. The list ends. It has a stopping point. A finite arithmetic series is the sum, S-U-M, of the terms in an arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic. Arithmetic sequence. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Try the first one. You don't even need my help. The sum of the numbers 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. There's no special pattern. But you can use your calculator or your head, whatever you want to. 1, 4, add them up. The sum of that list. And then share the answer with someone near you. Okay, table 1. Gentlemen, what did you get? 35? Class agreements?
Yeah.
Awesome. So there is no step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's simply straightforward. You're adding. Okay? So what I've got is I'm going to introduce you to, I'm sorry, we have one more to do. Part B. Go ahead. 2, 8, 10, 14, 18, 22.
So we do the same with Kirby?
All right. Grand total is what?
72.
Others agree?
Yeah. No.
Stop. Okay. I want to point out that I've got 24s. It's sometimes fun to look for patterns, but I've got a bunch of 24s in this. See how they make 24? 24 3 times. So that's just a pattern. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Please write this down. A sub 1 is 2. A sub 6, the last term, was 22. Today it's important that we know what the first term is and what the last term is and how many numbers are in the list. So I'm going to introduce you to a formula. The formula is up here on the top of your paper, but I would actually like you to do the formula like this. N, I'm going to identify everything. A sub 1 plus A sub n divided by 2. N means the number of terms. How many? How many numbers are in it? A sub 1 is going to be my first term. We did that the past 2 days. A sub 1 is always the first number in the list. A sub n is the last number, the last term. And we divide that formula by 2. I want to remind you, order of operations means whatever's in parentheses, I do it first. So now I'm going to do I need this space, so I'm going to delete that. Okay. The first term, find the sum of each arithmetic series. I'm going to use this list. I don't have my complete list out, but this formula here is going to help me. So the first term, I always have to know. A sub 1 is 3. A series with 12 terms. A sub n is 12 terms.
That's correct.
Yeah. The 12th term, A sub 12, is 25. So this is the important things I need to know today. Today I don't really need to know the common difference. What's the first term in the list? What's the last number in the list? And how many numbers are there? Here we go. I'm going to plug in values. For n, I'm going to plug in. So I'm finding the sum, guys. The sum of a number, sub n. How many terms? So how many numbers are in this list? 12. That goes in the numerator. Then you put a parenthesis. What is the first number plus the last number? New people.
46.
We'll say them separate, please. The first number is, what's the first number? A sub 1, the first number in my list.
5.
Oh,
wait, no. 33.
3. Okay, and you're on mute. You sure you're on mute? New people. What's the last number in this list? 25. All divided by 2. There's 12 numbers. The first number is 3. The last number is 25. All divided by 2. Go ahead and put that into your calculator and get a result. You're adding up this list. The list that we can't even see what the numbers are. Table 2, but not Anthony. What'd you guys get?
168.
Do you agree with him?
Yeah.
It's basically 28 times 12 divided by 2. The sum of these 12 numbers is 168. All right. B. You can do B two ways. You can add it up straight in your calculator, 5 plus 11 plus 17 plus 7, or you can use the formula. So it doesn't matter to me which method you choose right now. Go ahead and find the sum of that list of numbers. Yeah. 165? 161. You guys agree?
Yeah.
So straightforward, 161. If I did it using the formula, it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms. The first term is 5. The last term is 41 divided by 2. Okay? Can't see it? Oh, sorry. 161. The sum of the numbers is 161. Okay. Turning the page. We're doing more. All right. So now we're going to talk about an auditorium. This works. Think of SoFi Stadium. The people that created SoFi Stadium, if you're looking at SoFi Stadium from a helicopter, straight up above, you would see the football field in the middle, the first row of seats surrounding it, and the edge of the building itself. I mean, obviously you realize that the seats right next to the field are like whatever, how many there are, 200. But then once you get up into the nosebleed seats, doesn't it get wider? And there's more seats up above the top edge. And that happens in Angel Stadium, Dodger Stadium. So stadium seating has this it grows. And they add more seats every row, wider and wider and wider. So in a theater, it's the same way. So when are you ever going to need to use this? The people that created SoFi Stadium and were planning it to start with had to do formulas and math to figure out, well, how many seats are going to be on the top row? How many sections of seats are we going to have to fit in? It's all math. So in this one, a high school auditorium has 18 seats in the first row and 26 seats in the fifth row. So I'm going to write down what I just learned. 18 seats in the first row. A sub 1 is 18. I don't like the way that looks. Let me write it again. A sub 1 is 18. The number of rows. All we know right now is 5 rows. How many are in the fifth row? 26. Okay. So anytime you're given information, we write it down using the proper notation. Use the explicit definition, here it is, to find a specific term. Solve for D. It's basically how many seats increases by. How many seats are added each row? Okay? So I'm solving for the common difference. What do they add each time? Is it 3? Every row there's 3 more. Every row there's 4 more. Every row there's 5 more. So I'm going to plug in what I do know. A sub n means the total number in the fifth row. So that's going to be 26. Like a sub 5 is 26, right? The fifth row. Equals, what's a sub 1? What's 18 in the first row? What's D? What's the common difference? What's the common difference? What am I increasing by? I don't know 5. No, it's 5 rows. You guys, everybody's helping me. Every row, how much do they add? You just said 5. Do we know? No, we don't know. Look, that's the question we're asking. How many seats are added each row? I don't know, D. And look, it says solve for D. So I told you exactly.
18.
What's N?
5.
5 minus 1. Okay, so this is going to be, we need more space, but 26 equals 18 plus D times 4. 26, I can't write D4. 18 plus, how about 4D? Now solve that. That's just a 2-step equation. Solve for D right here. What would you move first and what would you move second? Five minus 1, I got easy 4. What do you move first? What'd you move first? Just shout it out, guys. It's taking too long. 18, subtract 18 first. Both sides. And then you did that. And I got 8 equals 4D. And then you got what? Divide by 4. Like I'm so out of space. What is it?
2D.
2. Oh, D equals 2. Because you are solving for D. 2 means what? I just found 2. 2 cats, $2. What did I find? 2 what?
2 seats.
2 seats. Thank you. Hi, you're awake. Yes. 2 seats added to each row. Thank you. Now find out how many seats there are in the 12th row. D is 12. A sub 1 is 18. You can totally do this just like last night's homework and like Bell work today. Plug in common difference and plug in A sub 1. I want the 12th row. Oh, the common difference is 2, not 12. Sorry. All right, what's the formula you wrote? A sub n equals what?
I got 30.
It's more than 30. But what formula did you put? What's the first number? What's the first? A sub 1. Here's the formula, guys. This formula. What's A sub 1? No, there's 18 in the first row. Plus the common difference. Painful. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys keep saying 26. I don't know why. What's the common difference?
2.
2. D, common difference. We just found it up here. Andre, I need your help. What'd you put in the parentheses? What's the n? What are we trying to find? Yep, 12 minus 1. Woo! Okay, go ahead and solve that formula.
Oh shoot. I keep putting 12.
Did me putting 12 mess you guys up? Might have. I shouldn't be writing the wrong numbers. Okay. 2 times 11, right? Plus 18. In the 12th row, what is it?
40.
40 seats. 18 plus 2 times 11. There are 40 seats. Okay? I'm not going to want to draw a diagram with little dots to try and figure out what the stadium or what the theater is going to look like. So this sum can tell me, hey, if I want 20 rows, if I want 50 rows, how many seats are going to have to be in that 50th row? Okay? That's what this sum formula is good for.
Wait, how did you? I got like
18 plus 2 times 11. 18 plus 22. All right, number 2. Super short. What is the sum of the terms? Remember, I like the formula to have a giant 2 on the denominator instead of the 2 in front. That's my version. I like that better. So, can you please do number 2? Super quick. I'll give you like 30 seconds. Right here. Add them up, calculator, or in your head. I like your method. You found pairs, 14s, right? Patterns and numbers. Check this out. 14 and 14. 13 and 1. 4 and 10. Anyways, 35. The sum, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. The sum of the 5 numbers is 35. Next, I give you a sub 1. I want you to find the 11th term. Oh, it is. It's negative 23. Sorry. So, what do we need to know? There are 11 terms. The first term is 17. The last term is negative 23. You need to use the sum formula from above for this one. Find the sum. Add them all together. Plug in what needs to go where into the formula. Here's the formula. The 11 times 17 plus negative 23, all divided by 2, right? Cool. And what'd you get? It is a negative number. So how about Esteban and Anthony? What'd you guys get? Negative 33. 11 times negative 6 over 2. The sum of those lists of numbers is negative 33. Okay? So we fixed number 1, right? 19 terms. Everybody got that? Number 5's the most difficult one because you first need to find the a sub 11. So the first term is obviously 4. I'm doing number 5. I'm starting number 5. A sub 100, the 100th term you have to find by plugging it into this formula, just like we did for homework last night in bell work. And then use, there's 100 terms, first term plus whatever divided by 2. You have to find this last term, the 100th term, okay? But number 5 is the only one that's kind of tricky. You got to do 2 parts. First, find the 100th term, then put it into the sum formula, okay? So we're going to start on homework now.